Hi everyone, my name's Jim Giles. I am the Senior Analyst for Food and Carbon Systems here at GreenBiz, and welcome to GreenBiz Studio. I have with me Ryan Sirolli, who is the Global Row Crop Sustainability Director at Cargill. Hi Ryan.
Hey, good afternoon.
So Ryan is here to talk about a very ambitious and exciting new regenerative agriculture project that Cargill announced recently. So Ryan, for those folks watching who haven't heard about this project, just unpack it, give us some details about it.
Sure. So Cargill is supporting really farmer-led efforts to adopt different practices and systems that are for soil health that are foundational to regenerative ag. And we want to do that across 10 million acres of cropland in North America over the next 10 years. And we just, we see this as a tremendous opportunity to drive real impact through agriculture. And we really see agriculture as a means of a way for us to achieve and make real impact in some of the world's most pressing challenges around climate, water, while feeding the world and clothing the world and things like that. So very excited about the direction we're headed.
Yeah, and 10 million acres, that's a big number. It's quite a bit bigger than some of the other projects that I've come across involving food and ag companies and farmers. What motivated Cargill to be so ambitious there?
Yeah, so it is for us it's significant as Cargill. But in the grand scheme of things, right, when you think about the sheer number of acres just in the U.S. alone, even if you just look at staple crops like corn and wheat and soy, you're 230, 250 million acres, and so 10 million acres is it's just a piece, right? And I think this is, for us, we feel like it's going to take a bigger partnerships and more and beyond just Cargill to drive a real impact, just given the sheer scale of what we're trying to drive to. It's not the 10 million acres was really kind of an umbrella, right, or kind of a way to wrap around a lot of what we were already working towards. So we've set science-based targets for climate within our supply chains, scope 3 targets. We've set water-based or water resource targets, context-based water resource targets in the last year. And so we've had a lot of these different initiatives. We've had farmer programs that we've been working on for a number of years, but we needed something that really brought it together and gave us a way to focus on farmers and be able to help understand just the magnitude or the scale at which we were trying to drive change. And we felt like by setting this 10 million acre initiative, it really brings together that win-win-win, right? So the ability to focus on farmers and focus on the economics and prosperity around soil health, while at the same time thinking about how do you deliver against some of these environmental commitments related to climate, related to water.
Yeah, so thinking about some of these commitments, one of the most exciting things about regenerative agriculture is its ability to draw down carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and store it in the long term in soils. Do you have a sense for the amount of carbon dioxide that could be sequestered over the duration of this project?
Yeah, so we're trying to be very conservative, as we know that there's a lot of interest but there's a lot of unknowns, and I think we want to be careful not to overstate the potential of drawdown, and yet we know that there's tremendous opportunity when we focus around soil health principles, keeping the soil covered, having more living growing roots and all of these different elements. So I think we're trying to equate essentially if we're successful that we think we can remove the equivalent of 1 million cars from the road. But I think as the science improves and as we get more comfortable with the potential of different soil types, different climatic conditions, there's somewhere probably in the range of a half a ton of carbon to a ton of carbon if you have multiple practice adoption in some of these areas where there's a lot of opportunity. But today I'd say we are trying to be more conservative about it and not overstate it. And we'll see where the science takes us over the coming years to get more confident in what that actually looks like.
Great, thank you, Ryan. It's so encouraging to hear this. These are, as I said, these are serious numbers. I will certainly be keeping a close eye on the project and checking back in with you to see how it's progressing. But for now, thanks for coming here to GreenBiz Studio and sharing an update on what you're doing.
Thanks so much for having us, Jim.